25 years of off-road racing dominance. Proprietary patented race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks. The leader in off-road shock technology.
It's 2022 and Bill Alexander Ford is ready to serve you with the same great service you have grown to trust. Check out the all-new 2022s arriving daily. F-150, Super Duty, Ranger, Maverick, Bronco, Explorer, Expedition, Escape, Edge, EcoSport, and Mustang. Need service without the hassle of coming in? Our mobile service will come to you. We have discounted the convenience fee to only $25 for the whole month of January. For a difference you can count on, shop your locally owned Bill Alexander Ford on East 32nd Street in Yuma.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here once again with your KMC Wheels Fishgistics coverage of the Best in the Desert Parker 425 2022, presented by F&L Racing Fuel all day today. We are just about to have a finisher in Class 10, so we're going to get you over there in a second. Haven't finished quite yet. If you're just joining us, today is the limited car race. We have two races. We have one today and one tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Unlimiteds go. The big boys, the trick trucks, Class 1, 6100s, they all race tomorrow. The UTVs all raced a week ago at Parker, or actually 2 weeks ago, I think it was, in Parker. Maybe it was last week, I forget. And the UTVs had a whole separate race, so no UTVs are racing this race. They actually do a Parker 250, so they have a totally separate race at Parker now for Best in the Desert. But we can head on over to the map and let's see what we got. We almost have a finisher. So on the map, the green is on the third lap. The 1015 is showing as first on the road, but I believe the 1075 is still ahead. And look at that, we just got a finisher. They just finished. So the 1075 Preston Brigman is your winner right now. However, we are going to have to wait for the 1023 of George Trevino to finish, because earlier he was within a minute of him at the end of the second lap. So we're going to have to wait and see when he finishes where he is. Also, the 1015, you can see he's right here. However, we already know the 1015 did not win. That would be impossible because he started right behind the 1075. So that means he would have to be within 1 minute of the 1075 finishing in order to beat him. And as you can see, he's not even at the finish line yet. He's about 5 miles from the finish line. So he's not going to do 5 miles in 1 minute. So the 1015 is not going to be your winner. The one that I said we have to keep an eye on is this one back here, the 1023. Now, the 1023 started in the 9th position, and the 1075 started in the 1st position. That means he started 8 minutes back. So he has 8 minutes after he finished to finish, which I don't see that as being possible because he's at mile 102 right now, and he would have to go 20 miles in 8 minutes, and you're not going to do 20 miles in 8 minutes. So unless something crazy happens, or unless my time is way off and they started differently, it looks like the 1075, okay, they started in 2 minute intervals. There you go. So double that. It makes it a little bit more interesting. So they don't have very many cars on the track today. So somebody says they started in 2 minute intervals. That's the first time I heard that today. So that's good. That is different than what they normally do. With only having this many cars, they were able to do that. So it wasn't, gave them more space in between the cars, less dust. With that said, let's go back to the beginning. The 1015 had to finish within 2 minutes. He's obviously not going to be to the finish within 2 minutes. So he's not going to win. Now, going back to the 1023, that makes a little bit more sense because he has, 8 minutes. He would have 16 minutes to finish. So the other car just finished at about 2:05. He has until about 2:20-ish to finish in order to beat him. So can he do it? He's got 20 miles to go. 15 minutes, maybe a little bit less now. I don't know. It's going to be really tough. Some of this is fast, but I don't know. We'll wait and see. I don't think, you never know. I don't think he's going to be able to get him, but it's going to be a little closer than I thought now that we know it's 2 minute start intervals. So thank you for that information there, Andrew. So Class 10, like I said, if you just joined us, it looks like the 1075 is most likely going to be your winner. The 1023 is, we're going to have to wait and see when he finishes. And then the 1015 is about to finish. You can see he's the only one's done 3 laps so far. So that's probably going to be your top 3 overall, is going to be those 3. But we still got to wait and see, because the 1078 and the 1072 were both kind of close too. So it's never over until it's over. But that is your first 3-lap finisher right there, Preston Brigman. So congrats to him. Like I said, he qualified first, started first, led first all day. He must not have had any issues, because he never got past, and he had a pretty big gap actually. If he started 2 minutes in front of the 1015, he finished well more than 2 minutes, a lot more than 2 minutes ahead of him. So good job to the 1075 crew. The next class that is going to be finishing next is going to be 8. And I'm trying to see where they are. Let's turn these other ones off. And class 8000, that is the old class 8 trucks. We got 2 that are on the final lap on the tracker here. So there is a truck that's not tracking. Steve Olagus is not tracking on here. So the 801 and the 897 are showing as first and second. But if we go look at the Best in the Desert timing and change it to class 8, check this out. It shows Steve Olagus was actually leading and completed 2 laps about 15 minutes faster than the 801. So if Steve Olagus is still moving, if anybody out there has service and is at Parker, let us know. Steve Olagus is probably still in the lead unless he had an issue. So we're going to have to wait and see when he finishes. He was 15 minutes ahead after 2 to 801. So if we come back and we find 801, he's probably about 15 minutes ahead, just say 15 miles or so maybe. He's probably around mile 85 or so right now. Or not 85, sorry, that's the wrong way. He's probably around mile 110-ish. He might finish this update, so we're going to keep an eye on that. We might get our second class doing 3 laps to be a finisher here before this update's over. So like I said, Steve Olagus is first, we believe. 8001 is second. And then third is going to be quite a ways back over here, the 8097. And then those are the only 3 that are on the last lap right now. The other entry is, you can see they have a yellow with a yellow means they're on lap 2, red means they're stopped Vanderway. They're broken probably once again. So not good day for the 8084. Maybe they can get it fixed and keep going though. They still got a little bit of time. So that is the second class. Now the next class down, I think, is going to be the Trophy Light class. So let's pull them up. There was 3 of them racing. They still got a ways to go on their last lap. They just started lap 3, actually. It's pretty close, though. You can see Jeremy here and the 6021 Dave Taylor. They've been really close all day. And I thought it was interesting. I was looking at the times earlier. Watch, if we go pull up the Best in the Desert times, they're pretty close, 55:09 and 57:55 at the end of lap 2, which was just 15 miles ago. So only about a almost 3 minute gap between them with 1 whole lap to go. So anything can happen in the Trophy Light class. It could definitely be either one of those 2 right there. Now there is a class 3000 car, the Rick Jackson. He's showing on Best in the Desert in class 3000, but it's a Trophy Light, as you can see, and he's only done 1 lap. So I don't know if he was actually racing in 3000 or with them or what, but it has a Trophy Light logo here, so I don't know why he wouldn't have wanted to race in Trophy Light class unless it's not legal. He might have done some modifications to it and it's not legal anymore. That would be the only reason I could see them wanting to do something else. Sportsman Truck, we did have finishers, so we talked about this last time. The winner of Sportsman Truck is Nick Wheatstone with Jack's Redline. Jax drove the first lap, Nick drove the second lap. So they won, and look at this, actually really close, less than a minute. Only about 47 seconds between them and Kevin Thompson, Harley Lettner, in the 8170 in Chuck. So they both did 2 laps. This is not a Husaberg. I don't know why. All the Herps trucks on Best in Desert site got put with this Husaberg logo. I don't know why. It should say Herps, I guess, if they wanted to put that logo on there for that truck. So that's first and second place. Third place, Jack Olagus, Steve's kid. Congrats to him. His first race driving a trophy truck. He entered in Sportsman, which is smart. Why would you throw your kid right into the fire of the trophy truck, trick truck class? So he did really good. Look, he was only 4 minutes behind the first place and only about 3 minutes behind second place, and he finished third. So he finished ahead of Sterling Miller, who has finished fourth. So those are your only 4 finishers in the Sportsman truck class, which was doing 2 laps. That was all they were doing today. So good job to all those guys. We have finishers there. The Jeep Speed Trophy class, we only have one. Jeep Speed Outlaw, we only have one. Jeep Speed Cup, we had two showing up here on Best in the Deserts. Really close between these two. Check that out, the 242 and 244. So pretty good race in the Jeep Speed Cup class here between those two entries. The other one, remember earlier we were talking about, here, let's go back and look again here. Something interesting I did see earlier. So the Hall Racing, remember how I said they were close to each other? Are they still close to each other? Let's see. Okay, they got a little bit of a gap now. So Hall Racing has been close to each other all day between the 1230 and then the 7330. Both of them were really close. Earlier, if you look at their time, and I thought they might have been racing each other, if you go look on Best in the Deserts, change it to the 7300 class. Look, after one, he was 308.27. So remember that, 308.27. And then the other car was 308.07. So only 20 seconds between the two Hall cars that were racing out there today. So really, I bet they were having some fun, at least on the first and second lap. It looks like now that the 1230 has been able to pull a little bit of a gap. But he updated at 14.12 and he updated at 14.13. So pretty close. Those are going to be accurate positions there. So a little bit more of a gap now. But at least having some fun. If you're the only one in class, you can at least race one of your same team in a different class and kind of have some fun with it, I guess. That's what I think anyways. All right, well, who else did we talk about? The 8000s, we talked about them. Talked about Trophy Light. That's pretty much everybody that's racing today. There wasn't a lot of cars on the course. There's only 53 cars that started today. So we can go back at Class 10 and see if anybody else finished. Okay, we do. James Ford, the 1015, he finished 6 minutes on Best in the Desert's unofficial time, but this is usually turns into official time, unless there's a penalty, which hardly ever is at Best in the Desert. 6:07, so 6 minutes between first and second place right now. However, we still need to wait for George Trevino to finish, and I don't think he's close enough. He's getting there. I don't know. Maybe we can draw this out. What else do you guys want to see? I'm going to try and maybe stay live for another 10 minutes, maybe? I don't know. Not much to talk about today. So I want to see when the 1023 finishes, because that's the only car that could be kind of close to challenging the overall. So let's stay live for a few and see there. Any other cars you guys want me to look up? Let me know. Let's go back and see what other class was. Let's see. Oh, Class 5000. Somebody asked earlier. Yeah, there was one where, let's see if we can find it. 5000. Where are they? There they are right there. So there is a 5 car, 5013. They're still moving. They're doing 3 laps. Yeah, they were all scheduled to do 3, so that's good. Only car in their class today, but you know they're still racing maybe for fun against the 10 cars or just whoever for time. Parker 425 is always it's a really fun race. It's got a lot of everything actually. It's rough. It's got some sand washes. It's got some high-speed graded roads. It's got a little bit of everything really. It's a good test for your car. So it's a fun race. I'm surprised there isn't more people racing this race. I know some of you guys have been talking about it. I think King of the Hammers next week obviously has an effect on some of it because they have over 100 cars entered there. And if you're racing King of the Hammers, there's no way you're doing Parker most of the time less than a week before it. So I don't know how much of an effect that has on it. Some Legacy had a race a couple weeks ago. If you race that one, you're probably not racing Parker. So it's kind of tough. You know, there's so many different desert series. I almost think there's too many desert series actually because it's kind of spreading the cars out between too many series. You know, I'd like to see, and this is probably never going to happen because everybody wants to do their own thing. I'd like to see some of these series combine up and get bigger car counts at these races rather than spreading all of the cars around. But, you know, people get to choose where they want to go race and get to pick and choose. It's just, it doesn't create as good competition when, you know, people are doing this one and then a week later people are doing that one. So it's kind of tough to have a lot of cars at a race nowadays. You know, the UTVs, they got to go a little bit earlier, so in the, you know, a week or two ago, so they might come out to King of the Hammers, some of the ones that did there, because they have time to prep them. Plus the UTV is a lot easier to prep than a lot of these race cars are, obviously. So I don't know, we'll see. Somebody said, how's 8001 doing? We can pull them up. Let's see, 8001. They were running in second place. So they're showing as first on the tracker, 8001, but that is the one that Steve Olagus is not tracking, and he was in front of them at the start of lap 3. So on the tracker, when you're looking, they're going to show first. But if Steve Olagus is still moving, then he's going to be first, and they're going to be second most likely. Because if we go back and look at the times here, you can see what I'm talking about. If it, let's see if it's going to refresh. Sometimes this tracker thing, it doesn't load too well. There we go. Okay, so you can see Steve Olagus in the 8027 was actually ahead of the 8001 by about 15 minutes. So most likely, probably still ahead of him. I don't know by how much, but unless he had a problem, you're not gonna make up 15 minutes in a quarter of a lap without someone having a problem. That's just not possible. So probably running second place, the 8001. Let's go look back at the map. I'm trying to wait to make that 10 car finish so we can see if they're the winners or not. They're still a little ways away. I don't know. We might just have to do another update at 3 o'clock because they're still a ways away. So why don't we just do that? Because then I'll be able to give you some more updates on the 1700 cars might finish and them. So come back at 3 o'clock in 45 minutes and we'll know for sure. If you want to know before then, simply go on to bitd.com and go to their live timing page. That's what I'm looking at right here. This is on Best in the Desert's website, their live timing page. Just go to the front. You'll see live. Click on live unofficial leaderboard. Change the class to whatever you want. And then when they cross the finish line, their laps show up here. So the class that we are waiting for, or that I'm waiting for, is class 10 here. I just want to see when the 10:23 finishes. He's the only one that was kind of close on time at the end of the second lap to the 10:75. So he could still be the winner, but most likely I think it's going to be the 10:75 just by looking at the math calculation. Never know. Come back at 3 o'clock and we will know for sure. So I'll keep you guys updated. We'll do one more live update today, and then we'll be doing the same thing again tomorrow all day. So come back at 3 and we'll see you guys then. Once again, thanks to all of our sponsors as always: King Shocks, KMC Wheels, F&L, everybody that helps us out, 4 Parts. We couldn't do it without all you guys. Go check out unlimitedrv.com. Where is it? Over here. That's our new sponsor, unlimitedrv.com. They have home of the lifetime warranty on a trailer. That's pretty crazy, huh? Go talk to Stacy Clark. Him and his daughter race 6100 cars. They're going to be doing some racing coming up. We'll keep you guys posted on them, but that's going to be a cool team to follow. And there's not too many ladies that race in off-road, so when there is, it's always fun to kind of follow them and see how they do. It's cool, especially when they're in a 6100 class and stuff, which is one of the biggest class right now, honestly, the 6100 class. That's the class to be racing in. So we'll follow them, and we'll be back. We'll come back in 40 minutes at 3 o'clock with your final update of the day here on Fishgistics. Tune in.
If off-road adrenaline is what you crave, we've got exactly what you need. Introducing the all-new Razor Turbo R and revolutionary Razor Pro R. Reimagined from the ground up with the power to push you further, the confidence of next-level strength, and exceptional control for conquering the wildest terrain. The next generation of Razor is here, and it's built for those who live wide open.
Get your rig ready for adventure at 4 Wheel Parts. Whether you're battling the winter weather or gearing up for warmer travels, 4WP will have your vehicle not only looking good, but also performing at its best. Get expert advice, easy financing options, or schedule an install with our ASC certified technicians. Ready to install everything we sell. Visit 4wheelparts.com. Now with over 100 stores nationwide.